Good morning, magicals. How are you all? I've missed you. September kicked my ass. I'm just going to say it as it is. And this morning we woke up and I put my hair up in a bun and it decided to look like it had just come back from a vacation in Whoville. And I have neither the inclination nor the energy to fight it. So let's just go with everything. We're all going with it today. How are you all? I hope that you're all fabulous. I have to tell you that this eclipse season has been traumatic, to say the least. Oh, Jesus, Mary Joseph. It's done, right? And now we are moving into October. That's really exciting news. I tuned into the energy of it this morning because I've been counting sleeps to get rid of September, like you don't understand. There's definitely a more kind of vitalized energy coming through in October. Okay. And what I mean by that is before we go, this is our little October reading, right? So just so we're all clear on what the point of this video is, I should have started with that probably. But to be fair, you'll have the clip at the bottom, right? Like I said, eclipse has not been kind. One of the things that Kelso and I've had a few discussions about is that like there's been this like lull, there's been a stillness, there's been a stagnation, there's been a pause, however you want to see it or however it's presented to you. We've really felt this in the last couple of months. Okay, I'd say the last 3 to 4 months. I think, to be very fair, like the last quarter, this last quarter that's just gone now, right? September, August, July, has really felt like a little bit like really thick mud in a lot of ways. And Kelso has said to me that the value of this is that we have been given the chance to really reevaluate what is important. On top of which, we are being shown what we have healed and what we are moving on from and leaving behind, what we are needing to still heal, and in some cases, just how far we've come. Okay. This is important information because things will come up that you may think, oh, God, I'm sure I've healed that. And Kels was saying it's like that last little bit of letting go. It's when something truly triggers you, that's what they're showing you needs to still be dealt with. Okay, just so we're all clear. Then we kind of know where we're at then with that, right? One of the things that have come up for me, I'm just taking this as an example. I love to just get things done. Like I'm a let's just get things done kind of girl. And in many ways, in many, many ways, the energy has not allowed me to do that at all in the last 4 months. It's been the complete opposite. I just feel like I've hit one wall after another. And I've learned the value of those walls. Okay. Sometimes it means that we need to reassess and take a better route. Sometimes it means that we need to give what we're working on some more time. Sometimes we need more time. Sometimes it's about us and not actually about what we're working on, to show up as a better version of ourselves for that space. Whatever it is, it's come up, and I have got a very exciting launch coming up in the next couple of days, and I was really keen to start doing some craft markets and things like that with my foster sister. She wants a little bit, I've done the hobby X's and things like that, so I'm okay with that, and I kind of wanted to be there to support, and also just to guide. I quite like that market vibe, and sell some creative stuff. And I actually said to her, I really know that I've said to you that this is what I'm prepared to do, but given everything this year, I'm going to call it for now and say that we gear up to be more prepared, better prepared to do these next year. And she was fully on board with it. And in that moment, I realized the value of the last 4 months, because normally I would have made a plan and it would have been, chaos for me and this and the next thing. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is because we are moving into an energy now where we have to do things differently. We can't continue to do things the way we've always done them. It's not going to work. It just isn't going to work. And one of the greatest feelings that have come out of this is the energy of joy, that we are now actively having to seek our joy and our happiness. And Kelso is just saying to me, he's saying it's so funny because we all about timing when we want something. when divine timing is kicking in and it's not working out fast enough for us. We're all about timing as humans. It's taking so long. It's doing this, it's doing that. He's like, and yet you don't understand the true value of time when it comes to making the most of the time that you do actually have. I think he may be saying that just to me as well. Anyway, beside the point. He has a fair point, but we want to speed up, but we are not making the most of the time that we have, even if it isn't going at the pace we want it to. But two things: joy, following our bliss, is vitally important. Vitally important. We are not going to be able to, it's going to physically become uncomfortable. It's like having, or I'm going to relate to like this because I'm a fatty. It's like having that really magnificent bowl of pasta, and you really know that your stomach has got absolutely zero space for the last 3 spoonfuls, but you force it anyway because you aren't going to waste it. Right? It's knowing when to stop in order for us to be comfortable and to be happy. Okay, because ain't nobody comfortable when you're sitting with indigestion and sore tummies and trying to sleep at night and you've got acid reflux and all that. Welcome to menopause, right? But it's about the understanding when to take the action and when to not. Okay, that is a very vital energy that we're moving into, because we are beings, we are not doings. Okay, so that's a big energy alignment first and foremost. Keeping ourselves happy and content. Not being remiss in doing what we need to do, but being happy and content. The second big one is gratitude. Gratitude is a huge game changer, and it is a frequency that is we are going to have to align with more and more in order for us to actually facilitate our manifestations the way we want them to. On top of which, I want to say that all of that said and done, with the switching of the energy into the new month, we have to be proactive. So I think that there's going to be a lot of fortuitous stuff happening. There's a lot of planetary stuff happening that's really good for all of us. And we're out of the 9 month. This has been a tough month, guys. It's a 9 month in a 9 year collectively. It's a tough month. And with the eclipses as well in the same month. So although the energy will be lighter, it's not allowing us to be complacent in what we need to do and what we need to face. Okay, I've had a lot of stuff come up that I have sat with and gone, I've dealt with this. Why is this coming up again? But it's not triggering me. And I've had to be discerning and understanding that. The stuff that triggers me, I need to work on. But the stuff that isn't is just like, it's like that final push of release out. Okay, so just be clear on that when you are looking at your healing and things like that. If something's still lingering this month and you're like, I've done the work, it's because it's actually physically clearing out. And if it is something that still triggers you, then you still need to work on it. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. What we're going to do is for October, I want to just draw one animal. All the decks have been shuffled, right? I just don't want to make too much of a vroom vroom on the table here, because if you've got earphones in or something like that, it's going to deafen you ever so slightly. We're going to get an animal protector guide for October. We've got the Time Travelers Oracle by Denise Lynn for general energy, and then my beloved Everyday Witch we're going to use for what we need to know for October. Okay, so Kelso, can we please have a card for an animal protector? There we go. Okay. Porcupine Spirit, 4 and 8 is 12. Comes down to 3. Unity, collaboration, working together. Porcupine Spirit, time for a beginner's mind. It's that whole situation of taking what we've learned, releasing everything we haven't, and starting afresh, right? It's doing things differently. Let us be brutally honest. Society, our parents, everybody, no matter who it is in our spaces, we have not been geared to live life joyfully. We have not been geared to manifest from different kinds of places. We've all been taught on some level, if you don't work hard, you don't get your reward. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, if you don't put in 24 hours, of work if you're not putting in 24 hours a day, if you're not available 24 hours a day, you're not going to be seen. That kind of energy is not the kind of energy that we are needing anymore. So this is completely making sense. This is about us really rethinking how we do us, how we do our lives, how we are accessing our opportunities, how we are accessing our energy, where we are placing our energy. Okay. I've said to you a lot in the last couple of months that energy discretion is really important at the moment, and so we are really needing to fine tune that part of ourselves, so that we're not over giving, that we're not under giving, and that we are being able to create a homeostasis in our systems. Because I'm telling you now, in the next couple of months, I'm going to be talking a whole lot more. Oh look, we've got a goddess card in here. I always take this as like not ominous, as a sound, right? In this whole pack, for some reason, there's a goddess card, and it's Lakshmi. 27. 2 and 7 is 9. The endings. Lakshmi is opening us up to fortune. Okay, so again, just a little goddess message. I wasn't intending that, but that came out, so I'm going to take it. About us ending to receive. Okay, nice one. Nice little thing there. So, yeah, so we're having to reprogram ourselves. We're having to look at how we do things, how we're approaching things. Okay. Right, Cal, so 3 cards, please. I just want to see some general energies, please. 1, 2. 1 more, please. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so we've got light, transcending, and flexibility. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Light. Okay. This is about really and truly not only stepping into our power and stepping into our light and shining our light, but also about choosing the light. Okay. And what we mean by that is, I just said we, sorry. I mean me, but I suppose it is we. What I mean by this is that really starting to acknowledge where your shadow side still plays into things, and really learning to access the light side of yourself and not playing into your shadows, especially when it comes to self-sabotage and abandonment and things like that. Guys, we're always going to be working on that. That's a constant thing, right? So it's not going to just end in a heartbeat because eclipse season is over and because Mara has said that on the 1st of October, the energy is going to get lighter. Today does feel a lot lighter than it did yesterday and the day before, but I think October is literally an energetic switch. I can't explain it. There's just this gut feel around it. And it's not just that everything's going to be perfect when you wake up on the 1st of October or on the 2nd of October, but it's the opportunity and the energy that changes. Okay. And this is saying, make sure that whatever you are doing into the light. And to feed our light, we need to be joyful, guys. We have to. It raises our frequency. It makes us happy. It gets us out there. Okay. So please, that's really, really very important. Atlantis, transcending. This is about just taking things as it comes. So you can see they're all on the boat, and I have to just say, please excuse my nails. I've been gardening. It's been really a bit hectic. This is about them on the boat, and they are moving into higher planes. Okay. The reason they're saying focus on your light is because in order for you to get to where you need to be here, right, going up to Atlantis, is that you can't do that if you're focusing in the dark or if you're still playing in the dark heavily. And I don't mean this as in like that saying that people are evil or anything. Let's not misconstrue that. What I mean by this is that we need to be fully raising our vibration constantly in order for us to now engage with this transcendence that we are going through. There is a massive, massive shift of 5D energy coming into this planet at the moment. That is why there are so many massive endings in terms of companies, in terms of relationships, all kinds of things, societal norms. Everything is starting to change. And deaths, there are so many people crossing over at the moment, like loads and loads. And we're going to see a whole lot more. We are going to see a whole lot more crossover, right? And this is about us really, really making sure that our vibration is where we want it to be, so that our transcendence goes ahead as easily as possible. And also, I don't want to say quickly as in like chop chop, but I mean that we're not creating any resistance to us evolving and growing and getting there, right? And I did say to you there was a lightness in this energy. I wasn't joking. There's definitely a lighter energy coming in October. Flexibility. A prehistoric bamboo forest in Southeast Asia. This is number 13. comes down to a 4, which is about stability. Okay. In order for us to do this, to make this trip, we're going to need to be flexible. Okay. We cannot be set in our old ways. We cannot be stuck in old paradigms and old concepts. It's not going to work for us. We need to like literally lighten the mental load and be open to see what comes in for us. Kels was saying to me, there's a new way of thinking, and with the new way of thinking, it allows us a new way of living, right? So if you are one of the kinds of people that are feeling like life is not where you want it to be, and you are wanting to be better, do better, have better, right? And that's, I need to say this, wanting more is not a bad thing. Okay, being addicted to stuff or hoarding, different story. That's playing into the dark, because that's shadow side stuff. That's abandonment issues and stuff like that. But wanting a better space, wanting a better life, wanting to succeed, wanting to make the most of the time you have on this planet, that is not a bad thing. It's how we get there and how we behave, how we think, how we feel. All of those elements play into, how we achieve what we want, right? And so they're saying, be flexible. The shift is happening, whether we like it or not, it's here. But remember that we have to play into the light, guys. And it can be anything. One of the big things that I'm going to be looking at in the next couple of weeks is working around reactivity and responsiveness, because most people react, we don't respond. And when we are reactive and not responsive, we are working from our shadow side and our ego. So I am looking at doing something around that, maybe a video or something like that, because there is such a lot of reaction at the moment about everything. And we're actually asking, with this kind of we're being asked to respond as opposed to react. Okay, right. So let's have a look and see, what do we need to, okay, just give us some general energy for October, please. Sorry, I normally take jumpers, but he said he wants the card. It's the 5 of Swords, which is resistance, right? It's internal conflict and resistance for me, and the cards are not wanting to shiver. Okay. We start off with the 5 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Tower. This is, again, letting go. October is going to require this of us. If this is the starting point energy, it's going to require us to let go of what no longer serves us. The Tower comes in to break down old systems, old paradigms, old ways, old relationships, old situations, old like people, whatever it is. Not actually old people like geriatric, just so we're all clear. Right? But this is saying that we need to not hold on. We are resisting if we are resisting letting go of what needs to be let go of, we're going to have a problem. Okay, because I don't want to say we have a problem. It's going to create resistance and challenges, right? Which is against exactly what they've said here. It's against this. It's against being flexible, because being flexible means that we're not going to hold too tightly onto what we believe and into our dark, into our shadow sides, right? Our abandonment and our ego and self-sabotage and all of that. It requires us to remove resistance by not holding onto what no longer serves us. So that's quite a strong message to start with, I'm not going to lie. Sorry, we've got some flippers. Okay, right. Okay, that's what it requires of us. What does it bring to the table? What does October bring to the table for us, please? What does October bring to the table for us, please? 2 5s out first time round, like 5 of Swords, and now we've got the 5 of Cups, not the 2 5s. Gosh, okay. Right, so what it brings to the table is a whole lot, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I would say just, you know what? Even if you have to sit and make a list and systematically tick it off, just let it go. Really, with what's coming up now, just let it go. Let it go. It's offering you a fresh start, which has felt like it's taken a bloody age. So where you've had lack and loss and disappointment in the past, right? Or whether you feel like there have been opportunities that you should have taken that you haven't taken and you regret that, that all needs to go. That's all part of this resistance that you're holding on to. Let it go. Because at the end of the day, once you do that, it's bringing you in offers that are going to change the game for you. But these things have taken a while to come in. Okay, so if you feel like you've been waiting for your ships to come in and they haven't come in and they haven't come in, well, here's the thing. This is the month for these things to start coming into it. Kelso is using the term seeding. Start seeding into your space, right? Because, hello, look what we got. The King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Sun. I'm just putting out the gently in the corner. Independence, strength. The King of Pentacles is the king that you want for longevity. Okay, whether it be relationships, whether it be building your empires, whether it be friendships, whatever it is in your life, this is the king you want to show up, because he's at mastery level for being a king, but he's also the stable one. He's the solid one. He's the one who gets things done. Right? So I'm going to say to you, you really want the King of Pentacles here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. All you could want and more. Creating a legacy, a lifetime of. This is not just saying, okay, you're going to get 3 or 4 good paychecks and then you're kind of like, back to square one. This is about, sorry, the rain just started coming down again. This is about really creating a lifetime legacy for yourself of putting in the effort, building your empire coming into fruition, opportunities here, right, coming in to create a life that you want. And then you end with the Sun, guys. The happiest card in the deck. Like everything you could want and more in every area of your life. So this is big energy to be playing in at the moment. It's very big energy. I would say take some time, really, just today. Take a few minutes tonight before you go. If you've got to cut cords or do your releases or whatever it is, okay? If you have natural like rivers by you or water that flows out of properties and things like that, burn your stuff and let it go down river. Please don't flush it down toilets though, because there is actually an energy around that. So don't be flushing things down toilets. But let it go into the wind, like whatever it is, burn it in fire. Okay, burying in the earth is great, but make sure your intention is good. If you're letting something go, if you're wanting something to grow, I would bury it in the earth and plant the seed, or I would do it to ground a situation. But I'll just be careful about burying stuff to release in the ground. That's not a, unless it's a body, but then you have plants endangered species on top, so they can't dig up the body, is all I'm saying. Right. Don't tell me I don't got your back. Right. Okay. So really good stuff. This is what it brings to the table. Okay. But I'm going to use this word and you're going to not like it. It brings the possibility of this to the table. The option is there. You can see he's holding out the option and the offer. Are you going to take it? Guys, as always, this is going to require us coming out of our comfort zones, whether we like it or not. And I kind of feel like the longer we sit in the space, in our comfort zone, in the tower, because remember, the tower is the universe stepping in going, cheers, knock, knock, right? I'm here. So we then lose control of how this all plays out in a big way. So I'm going to say, put the work in. I think it's worth it. There's a very different energy around October, and I think it's going to be it's interesting that we've gone, okay, although we've only just hit the spring equinox now, I do feel like there's a very cleansing energy around October as well that's going to happen, that is going to shift stuff for us. So whatever we've released and all that, and what I mean by shift doesn't necessarily need to be a release thing. Sometimes it can shift stuff into our spaces that move us further along. Okay. This is what it requires. This is what it brings to the table. Okay, what is the guidance, please? What is the guidance for this month? 8 major arcana, one major arcana after another. Okay, first of all, let's deal with these two. Justice and the High Priestess. That's a powerful combination. So use your intuition. Use your intuition and do what is right. Remember that what you put in is what you're going to get out. Karma is not a punishment. It is a balancing act. What you put in is what you get out. It's that simple, okay? And so they are requiring of you here to make sure that you are putting in what you want to get out. Okay, but use your intuition. And the reason they're saying use your intuition is because they are wanting you to be discerning. Just like I said to you, I'm not throwing myself into the markets this year, for example. Okay, I'm being discerning about that. I'm going, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not 100% ready yet. But when I am ready, we'll tackle it definitely, and we'll give ourselves more time. And then next year we can do Christmas markets, and we can be more prepped for it, and we can build up stock, and etc., etc., etc. Okay, this is very much about knowing when to make the move, how long you need, what you need to do. But this does feel, I'm not going to lie to you, this feels like action. I can't lie to you. It does feel like action, because even with the Knight of Pentacles, it's an action card. Knight's move, right? He's not maybe flying. He stopped for the moment to drop the offer, but he's going to fly off again. There's going to be movement. So it is important that I do feel like this is about watching where you're moving. Kelsey's showing me like a big chessboard, and it's kind of like that. Yours is the next move kind of energy. Okay, King of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. So the guidance is that if you are doing this, right, the King of Cups is very empathic. He's emotionally intelligent. Okay, so if you're using all of those attributes of the King of Cups, but being in King energy, we've got two kings down now, right? We've got the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, right? So this is about creating I want to say passionate, but it is passionate, but a foundation that really brings you joy. Okay, this leads to victory. Six of Wands is victory, reward, recognition. And what did I say to you about justice? What you put in is what you're going to get out. Just remember that, guys. So if you feel like you're going to hold on to this for a little bit longer, you feel like you're not 100% ready to let this all go, that's fine. But understand that the opportunities that come around in October, you may have to wait a little bit longer for next time round. It may not be that they've gone forever, because what's truly meant for you will never pass you by. But it may be that you just have to wait that little bit longer until they come around again, okay? But you have got beautiful, beautiful outcome energies here, guys. Really, look at that. Those alone are just such beautiful cards. And even the tower is there. I mean, we all get worried about the tower, but the reality is the tower is there to assist us and to move us forward when we're not wanting to move out of places that we need to leave. Okay, so I hope that you have a fabulous October. I hope that this helps, guys. I'm sending you so much love as always, and I will catch you on the flip side. The biggest of loves.